Hello, my name is Stephanie Saravia, and today I'm going to be talking about the Pacific Ocean garbage patch. This is a huge problem that we're facing right now, and I think no one is really paying attention to it. So let's talk about this. Let's start by imagining sailing thousands of miles away from any shore. You expect endless stretches of blue ocean calm and beautiful waves, but instead, what greets you is something entirely different. Plastic bottles floating along the surface, old fishing nets tangled like a sea monster, bags that look like jellyfish, and fragments of plastic so small they're invisible to the eye, but deadly at the same time. This is not just a story I'm inventing because I want you to think something ugly or something horrible. Nope. This is the Pacific Ocean today. I spent time researching the Great Pacific Garbage Patch through environmental science journals, official reports from organizations like National Ocean Atmospheric Administration, and the Ocean Cleanup, and global plastic reduction. The more I learn, the more I realize this is a crisis that demands our attention. Not tomorrow, now. Now, today. We must reduce plastic pollution now by changing our behavior, supporting legislations, and holding industries accountable before the damage to our oceans, marine life, and even our own health becomes irreversible. We exactly what exactly is the garbage patch? It's not one giant island of trash you can walk on, but rather a mass of debris trapped by ocean current between Hawaii and California. It covers more than 1.6 million square kilometers. That twice that's the twice of size of Texas. Can you imagine that? Twice the size of Texas. That's a lot, if you ask for my opinion. According to the Ocean Cleanup, 2022, it holds about 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic, and most of it isn't visible to the naked eye. These are microplastic, tiny, tiny broken down plastic that float in the water column. They're small enough to be swallowed by fish and seabirds. They're not just ugly, they're deadly. And the numbers are alarming. The National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration report that over 700 marine species have been harmed by plastic pollution, injured by it, trapped in it, or killed by consuming it. Plastic doesn't disappear. It just breaks into smaller and smaller, tiny, tiny, tiny little pieces, spreading throughout the food chain. That means plastic that started in your soda bottle could end up in your fish and eventually on your dinner plate. The problem is massive, if you can hear or if you can see. But here's the good news, we're not powerless. We can do something if we start again. Now, let's talk about where this plastic comes from because once we know that, we can cut it off. I think. In 2022, the study of the ocean cleanup from that 75 to 86% of the plastic in the garbage patch comes from commercial fishing gear. Nets, ropes, lines, abandoned or lost at the sea. But land-based waste plays a major role today. Items like plastic bags, straws, wraps, or bottles are some of the most common. So let's talk about this. So what we can do. First, let's start with this. Cut down on single-use plastic. This means bring your recyclable bag. Refuse plastic straws. Using recyclable straws as well. We have them. So use them. Simple action done constantly matters. Second, support plastic bans and extend producer responsibility laws. These hold companies accountable for a full life cycle of their plastic products. That means less waste end up in the ocean. For third, fund cleanup efforts and education. I know maybe you don't have money, but if you do, please, it can help. Organizations like Cleanup, the Ocean Cleanup, are using innovation technology to remove plastic from the water, but they need support, both financial and political. Some people say, why? What's the point of all of this? My res- let's say they say a lot of if I bring my recyclable bag, is going to fix the problem of the ocean, but the argument misses the bigger picture. Policy change starts with public pressure. When millions of people shift their habits, government and companies pay attention. In fact, in 2019 National Geography report showed that plastic bags banned in several countries led to a dramatic reduction in plastic waste. In Kenya, for example, plastic bags leather decreased by over 80%. Can you imagine that? 80% of the year of the ban. So this isn't just about saving few turtles. It's about preserving the system that makes life on Earth possible. Imagine Seabird flying thousands of miles to feed his little baby, only to return with a stomach full of cups and cigarette lighters. Imagine a sea turtle trapped in a ghost net, slowly suffocating. These aren't stories that I'm telling you because I want you to feel bad. They're everyday realities. And worst part, we caused this. But that all matters, right? That we caused it, so we can fix it. Here's the logic. Cleaner oceans, healthier marine ecosystem. That means more sustainable fishing, better tourism opportunities, and fewer toxins in our food and water. And economy also. It makes sense. Prevention is cheaper than cleanup. The World Economy Forum estimates that cost of marine plastic pollution to the global economy is up to 13 billion a year. Wouldn't it be smarter to stop a problem before it grows? Reducing plastic pollution is no longer optional. It's endless for the survival of the ocean life, for our own well-being, and for the kind of world we want to leave behind us. Let's think of the future generation. So for the next time you're offered a plastic bag or straw, say no. Bring your own bag. Refuse. Bring your refill. Refill, speak up. Demand better laws. Support companies that care. Because doing nothing means letting our oceans down in our trash. And that's not the legacy we want to leave. I want to end up with this beautiful quote that I love. We don't need a handful of people doing zero waste of perfectly. We need millions doing imperfectly by Annie Marie. This quote is: if each other do something little, it can end up doing something really, really small. Let's start by today. Thank you.